Welcome to the online radio and television station. Here are the news today. The EU-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement (EVFTA) takes effect from the 1st of August 2020, giving coffee 0% tax. This agreement provides Vietnamese coffee with a competitive advantage over competitors in this region. This is an opportunity for Vietnamese businesses. Vietnam mainly exports unroasted and decaf coffee to Sweden, Denmark, and Norway, with a worth of 6.8 million USD in 2019. Each year, these countries import about 455 million USD, and mainly from Brazil and Honduras. According to the Ministry of Industry and Trade, to promote coffee exports to this area, businesses need to focus on the cultivation and development of production associated with a sustainable environment. The Agro-Processing and Market Development Authority said that this October, Vietnam exported about 300,000 tons of rice with a value of 161 million USD. The country's total rice exports in the first 10 months of this year reached 5.29 million tons with a turnover of 2.61 billion USD, decreased by 4% in volume but increased 8% in value over the same period last year. Currently, localities in the Mekong Delta are harvesting most of the autumn-winter rice. Inundation caused by storms affecting yields. However, rice prices are enjoying growth, so farmers are still profitable. To prepare for the winter-spring crop of 2020 to 2021, the Mekong Delta region sows 1.55 million hectares with an output of more than 10.9 million tons. It is expected that in January 2021, the outcome will be about 1.2 million tons of rice to meet domestic consumption demand and high expectation for export. According to the New York Times update, the gap between the two U.S. presidential candidates continued to widen after the vote counting results were announced more in some states. In Pennsylvania, with 20 electoral votes, there are 98% of the votes counted. Mr. Biden is about 20,000 more votes than Trump, with 49.6% of votes compared to 49.3% of Mr. Trump. In Nevada, with 6 electoral votes, there are 87% of the votes counted. Mr. Biden also led about 23,000 votes, holding 49.8% of support votes compared to 48% of Mr. Trump. In Arizona, 11 electoral votes, with 90% of the votes counted, Mr. Biden holds about 37,000 more votes, with 49.9% for Biden and 48.7% for Trump. Meanwhile, the state of Georgia, 16 electoral votes, is preparing for a recount due to the narrow gap between the two sides. Mr. Biden leads about 4,200 votes, reaching 49.4% rate compared to 49.3% of Mr. Trump's side. Here, there are only less than 8,000 votes left untold. More ballot counting results are expected in the next few hours. If this result is maintained, Mr. Biden will defeat President Trump and become the 46th President of the United States. The European Union (EU) has added 8 ministers in the Syrian government, which were just established in August, to the list of sanctions on the grounds of human rights violations. According to the decision, Syrian officials listed on the sanction list will be banned from Europe and will see their assets frozen. The 8 officials above include Minister of Oil and Mineral Resources, Industry, Health, Agriculture, and 3 Ministers of State. Earlier, the EU on the 16th of October put Syria's Minister of Finance, Justice, Trade, Transport, Culture, education, and water resources on a list of sanctions. The Syrian conflict started in the early 2011. After 9 years of war, the Damascus government now controls about 70% of Syria. That is the end of the news today. Thank you for tuning in.